Give me Mars.
But
I do need a pro controller because I can't stand the regular controller much longer. It's too close together for me. I feel like it. I feel kind of squished and cramped to play. If that makes sense, like.
oh yeah,
I almost never use the. I never use the like, except for if I'm doing like game capture. I never use that controller thing. I just always play it undocked.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels fine like that.
I don't know, but I'm really enjoying the Switch. You know, it's good pickup, amazing little system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, though I hate playing Mario Kart and having to play with that shit. Whenever I play with Karen, like I will give her the Pro Controller just to be nice. And I hate to sound like a dick, but I'm that much better at Mario Kart than she is. That I'm like, Kiri, you know, and I feel like the kid that takes the Mad Catz controller back in the N64 days. Like, cool, I'll use the Mad Catz controller.
Yeah, that's my handicap.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the advantage, you know.
First time I ever played Deluxe is when my buddy Jared brought it to work. We were like in the back room on like a snow day, so we were like dead. We sat on some fucking milk crates and I played on the little Joy-Con, and I still beat him. I played on Wii U like religiously. It was just ingrained.
Mm-hmm.
But those little Joy-Cons are, woof.
They're something to be held when you're holding them and, you know, adult hands. I can see though being a kid and, you know, the Joy-Cons being awesome.
My kids hate them. They don't like if they have to play that way. Like we'll play like Mario Deluxe or something. They're like, oh, so I give in and. You know.
You're like, oh, okay. I'll go buy 4 Pro controllers. All right. I'll use my tax return.
It's not as
drop $240 on these plays.
Yeah.
It's either one way or the other with kids. Like at our employee Christmas party this year, like my buddy again, he brought in his rig, like his emulator thingy, and he set it up on one of the screens in the bar, and you know, everyone had their family and kids there, and there was this one kid I have on my keychain. It's a Super Famicom controller and it's rubber, and there wasn't enough controllers, and like he was like just kind of annoying everybody. So real quick, I was like, here's a controller, and he used my keychain thing, and he thought he was playing, and he was like 8 or 9. So I don't know. Maybe.
Oh no. Oh man.
Got him.
But then I gave him, you know, a real controller the next round. Like I'm not a total piece of shit, you know. But...
Years later, they're gonna show him photos like, look at how much of a stupid piece of shit you were.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding about that.
I'm gonna years from now, I'm gonna go out of my way to look up that kid whose first name I can't even remember, just to tell him what a dumb piece of shit he was.
I was talking about his parents. It's like, we were so not proud of you.
His parents are dumb pieces of shit, so that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Never mind. They probably thought he was really playing too then. They're probably like, wow, he's got a fucking controller keychain.
Knowing his father, I'm surprised he didn't go, can I get next?
Oh my god, if you could have done that and handed it to him, you know, grown man. Man, look how good I'm doing.
Speaking of looking how good we're doing, look how good we're doing, Tannen. 49 episodes. We are back yet again. This time, got a little guest, Tannen. Not a little guest. He's a big deal in my book.
Oh, stop.
There he is. Get in. Jim from Drink a Beer, Play a Game. My God, Tannen, how long have we waited? You thought he was already on, but I guarantee you he's never been on an episode of this. How long have we waited to get Jim on? Christ.
You know, or maybe it was that I argued, like, well, we get Jim on as a guest. Maybe I'd argued that for so long that finally it instilled in my head that, like, Jim, you were a guest at one point. You leaked into my subconscious, so I just stopped saying, you could get Jim on here.
He just wanted it so bad, he just felt it in the deeps of his cockles. He's like, it's happened. It must have happened. I've dreamed it 1,000 times.
Tannen, you know it's going to be a good episode and a good guest when he says the word cockles 2 minutes in. Jim, where can everyone catch you, your channel, and all you do?
All right, I am Ooh, huh?
He said Tannen, but go ahead, Jim.
Oh, did he say Tannen? I thought it said
Yeah.
Jim. See, oh man, I'm already
But
taking
Jim,
this shit over.
no, Jim, listen, you are our guest. So where can everybody catch you?
All right, I am one half of the show known as Drink a Beer, Play a Game. You can check out our main channel on YouTube, youtube.com/Drink a Beer, Play a Game official. Twitter, @ABEERANDAGAME. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, drinkabeerplayagame.com, where you can check out some random articles or written out beer reviews. And we are the home of the Power Hour podcast, which you can find on YouTube and on iTunes.
Very nice. Very nice. See,
Mhm.
that's how it's done. Right there. That's how you
Yeah,
shit.
right there.
I'm going to throw it
I
to
don't-
you.
I
I'm
don't
going
know
to
if I
see
can
if you
follow
can
that.
do it without messing it up. Here's the test, Tannen. You ready?
All right. Well, for starters, you can find Travis and I both at the HibickyTMD on YouTube and at Twitter. You can find myself on Twitter, O'Tannen's Bum at Twitter. Also, you can check us out on Facebook, The Reset Button. It is its page in its own self. It is something that give it some love. It hasn't had love in a while. I noticed I had some traffic there. I say it every week, and I'm always so happy to see that. But go ahead, go over there and
Take it out for a sandwich.
Take it out for just maybe I'll start posting articles on that too. I never thought about that. Nice idea, Jim. Thank you for that.
No, we keep saying we're going to do that, and it never happens. So don't feel too bad.
Oh, well, then, hey, no, I'll still just stick with the false advertising. We have articles over there. Go ahead and read them. But yeah, and also you can check out Travis's many other shows, such as Slam Pigs and all that other good stuff. I'm not going to list all these shows, Travis. I think you always try to make me do it, but I don't.
I actually never expect you to do it. You just kind of try to do it, and then you're like, you know what? Take it, Travis. I can't do it. Slam Pigs Podcast, The Reset Button, Sunset Strip, Never Do a Dime, Union Smack, Bicky Quickie, all the goodness. Hit that subscribe right down below for all the best retro gaming and pro wrestling goodness. We are here, though, lads. We are here. It is time. Reset Button 49. As always, per usual every episode, I usually ask Tannen what he's been playing. But since you were so cordial, Tannen, what you been playing, Jim? We'll let our guests go first. What have you been playing recently in your spare time?
Actually, I've been playing a shitload of Resident Evil games because on our page, we're basically going through all the ones we can, all the main series games and a couple offshoots. So recently played through... Recently played through 5 for the first time and going through Revelations right now.
Nice.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's actually turned out fun because I never got to play 5 before. First time playing Revelations. I guess I'll eventually have to play a little bit of 6, so, I know what I'm talking about. But in between that, it's either dicking around with Smash or my unholy addiction to Tetris 99 at this point.
Did you see the first ever tournament was announced for Tetris 99 and the prize is $10?
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty awesome. That'll be the greatest $10 you ever win.
I know, right? I don't even need money. Just to get first is enough. Like to know I did it once.
If I could get first in one game, I would be happy enough with that, much less a tournament.
Tannen, you picked up Tetris 99 yet?
I gotta say I haven't. So I'm really actually listening to you guys about this. I'm very intrigued, especially for Karen, because that's like her fucking. I mean, Tetris is her gig. Like, it's Need for Speed and then there's Tetris. So if there's a tournament for $10, I feel like telling her about it.
Well, quick synopsis, I guess. You're literally playing Tannen with like 98 other people or whatever, and it's just a straight up gangbang ass rape. Like, it's everybody attacking everybody. It can get so hectic. It's one of the most hectic experiences in gaming I've had all year, to be honest. When this shit's real, It's fun. It is fun, and it's free. Keyword is free. It's completely free for anyone that hasn't checked it out. Pick it up.
Definitely. And I will say, like, my co-host Brian hates it when I say it all the time, but I'll go on the limb and say at this point it's a perfect game. 1, it's free. 2, it's insanely addictive and replayable. And, I mean, you go graphic, sound, blah, 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 blah. It does everything it needs to do. Like, name me one complaint.
Yeah.
So is this a straight up, like, mobile game, or...
That's on Switch. I'm playing it on my Switch.
And the PSP of all things.
Wow. Wait, so it's also on PSP too?
Yeah, like for some reason, like that's the other thing. I guess they were developing it for the PSP like years ago, and I could be talking out my ass, but for whatever reason, it came out on the Switch and it's on the PSP store.
Take a piss, Vita.
I didn't even.
Fuck
I
off.
didn't even know I thought they had discontinued everything with the PSP as far as online went.
Yeah, that's really peeing on the grave.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. No, the fun fact about PSPs are people come in, to the pawn shop and they ask for PSPs all the time. Like PSPs are, believe it or not, kind of a hot item right now.
Huh.
And it might be because of Tetris 99. I had no idea about that, but kids even want PSPs. And it's like they prefer the little movie discs and everything over like digital download. It's weird. It's like this new fad thing going on, I feel like. So that's pretty cool.
I just want to get a PSP again to play Dante's Inferno again on the go.
That was a really good port.
Yeah.
That was an excellent port of that. I mean, it was straight up like, yeah, the cutscenes weren't as intense, but aside from that, like that was an excellent port of that game. Like flawless. It was the same game. Same exact game.
It's got to be a top 3 PSP game.
Oh, most definitely.
Tannen, what have you been playing this week?
Again, I continued my new delve into LA Noire. That's become like so funny. Last night, hate to bring her up again. I must miss her because I haven't seen her all day. Karen and I were like laying in bed. She's like doing some kind of crafty thing. She was making a cigarette case using like sticky bedazzly things. And like we're both sitting up on propped up pillows. I have headphones on and I was playing LA Noire. LA Noire on the Switch has become like, I love playing through it again, but it's become like my nightly crime novel. Like every night now I've been trying to dedicate myself to solving at least one case every night. It's just like I'm sitting there reading a book, and every now and then she'll say something, I'll pause the game and be like, what? I put my headphones back on, go back to what I was doing.
Did you get a pipe too while you play it?
I should totally just have a pipe.
Monocle?
Not even lit or anything, and just hang it out of my mouth, I started playing White Light again, trying to get back into that game. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or played it. It plays kind of like, kind of reminds me of Clock Tower in a way, because you really can't fight shit off. It's kind of like a run game and solve puzzles as you do it. You don't really have a way to combat. The whole game is shell shaded, but it's in black and white, except for like whenever you light a flame, and the flames are like orange and yellow, and those kind of represent where your lights fall. But really, really cool indie survival horror game that I really feel like went unnoticed. I got it for the PS4 years ago. Got about halfway through it, and then something else came out or something, and I just stopped playing it. But that game I have for the Switch as well. So that's another one. Those two games I've been kind of beaten back and forth with. I want to pick up Resident Evil 2 Remake again starting this week, especially after it. I don't know if any of you saw the video. Somebody modded it, and they replaced Mr. X with Thomas the Tank Engine.
I saw that.
I only saw the nude mod. I didn't see that one. I need to check it out.
Oh man, dude, I want to play that game with Thomas the Tank Engine chasing me down so bad because that's.
And you hear the music in the background, like far off and coming closer as he's like coming towards you.
I saw like somebody did a Thomas Skyrim hack too. I've seen.
Oh man, I mean, there's been a few of them. Skyrim was another one, yeah, but
fucking
this
Thomas.
one there, just to be so terrified of Thomas the Tank Engine with that like blank demonic face locomotive thing coming after you.
Yeah, and like
Just
it should have a zombie George Carlin conducting it. Wow, even scarier.
Oh, that'd be, that's a great idea. Whoever modded that, I want to find out who it is. Should include Mr. Conductor somewhere in there.
He could be the Birkin monster.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that would be awesome.
Where did Thomas live? Terrytown? Was that what it was called?
I don't know. I never watched.
Why are we talking about? Anyway, have you guys ever...
Steep?
Yeah.
No.
Picked it up dirt cheap, $15, just a GameStop or whatever. It's a snowboarding game, and it's actually really solid. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, wait, no. I have heard of that, actually. A lot of people argue that it's kind of up there with 1080, which I was like, because 1080 snowboarding, I loved that game on N64. That was
Oh yeah.
actually a really awesome game.
That was the
You know, I've
thing
never.
about retro snowboarding games. I feel like, guys, that they were either hit or miss. For every 1080, you had a fucking Cool Borders game that I wasn't a fan. I think it was Cool Borders, where, like, God, the trees would literally pop up. You didn't even get time to react. It was glitchy and just dog shit. It has not aged well. But yeah, snowboarding games, really, that genre is kind of, there's no gray area. They were either good or they were shit.
And you really haven't seen that many since what, this, like the PS2 6th gen era. Like I couldn't name you
Sean White?
any any of them really. Oh yeah, there were Sean White ones. Were they any good?
Cool
Wasn't the
Borders.
last Sean White on the actual original Wii? And
I was gonna say we.
I think it was shout out to my buddy Hammers. He was on like a Hibiki High Spots episode. He was talking about that was an actually good game for the Wii and it used motion control. And I can't, maybe I need to check it out, snowboarding on the Wii, because you know how I feel about motion control, Tannen.
Yeah, no, and also, well, with the Wii especially, that stupid board. Give me 1 second.
Either way, though, it's definitely giving me the itch to go back and
Sorry.
check out more
Oh,
retro
I
snowboarding games.
I
Oh,
was
you good?
opening up the haunted door, so I had to mute it for just a second. No, I mean, and you had Cool Borders there too, dude. Like, yeah, snowboarding games. They were. There were so many. What's that one that's supposed to be like? Oh, it's like Dark Summit. That was a PS2 game as well. That was snowboarding. I remember, like, I bought it a couple of years ago, and I thought, "Ooh, Dark Summit! Look at this!" And the cover of it looks like it's some kind of a, again, a survivor horror thing, which in a way it sort of is. But you're basically a snowboarder surviving like constant. Oh, there goes my dog. Constant elements coming at you, such as like avalanches and shit, like the entire time.
All right. Is it on GameCube? I just looked it up. I think I remember it. It's like a simulator of Everest. You're literally on Everest. Like they did it like by scale.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah. It's a fucking it's kind of cool. But in a way too, the gameplay was a little shitty in a way. Like I don't know. That's why for a long time it was like $1.50 at GameStop.
Yeah.
And then for a while you could get it complete for like absolutely nothing.
It says THQ published it. Developer was Radical Entertainment, which this came out in '01. But yeah, I think I remember this game.
Yeah, just I don't know, just the whole like skiing, snowboarding. Well, there was never really skiing games that got big, but the whole snowboarding thing, just when that was a fad, like holy shit, that was up there with skateboarding games. You know,
It was close.
dude,
It was damn close, but
seriously,
I
there
think
was so many
skateboarding always
fucking
had the edge.
skateboarding games. Well, actually, after Tony Hawk took over, that's when it was like there was actual skate games like
There was
skate.
Thrasher for PS1, and then it's like Tony Hawk came along. Like I feel like
Yeah,
Thrasher was the last not Tony Hawk skateboarding game before like Skate and stuff. Is that fair to say?
yeah,
I can go with that.
I'd say yeah. I forgot about Thrasher. And that one was like that was a hardcore skateboarding game. Like,
It's not very good. It's kind of shitty. I'm not a big Thrasher fan. And Breath of the
no,
Wild.
it is kind of shitty,
And
but I just remember like you got to set up your angles and you got to do this and like I remember Gary played it being like, and Joe Beach too, be like, this is like the most realistic skateboarding game I've ever played. Where like Tony Hawk was like that was like you were Superman. You were Superman on skateboard. Like you could do so much shit. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Breath of the Wild.
oh no, I was gonna say besides Breath, I was like you. When you said when you got your Switch at first, I feel like I haven't been giving my PS4 enough love, and I'm weird. I'm a weird gamer like that. I try to spread out the love. That's probably why I never fucking finish games. But I went back and I'm almost beating Spider-Man for the PS4. Really fun. I wouldn't have paid full price. Glad it didn't, but it's the best Spider-Man game I've played since like Spider-Man 2. And I was a fan of the first Spider-Man game on 360. I don't know if either one of you guys checked that one out.
Oh yeah. Oh well, Spider-Man 2 was the one that and Ultimate Spider-Man was the one that I
Oh
really.
yeah, the cell shaded one. That was great. Checked out the new Spider-Man game.
I haven't had a chance. I don't own a PS4.
Oh.
I'm still missing out on that. And I'm actually in your camp where after I got my Switch, like I barely touched anything for a couple months. And I'm like, yeah, well, the game room's getting dusty, but outside of like sitting down for actual website shit, why would I move? When I have my couch, I have a whole video game system in my hands. Why would I ever move again?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can poop.
Oh,
And you can haul that thing to work. Like that's like the magic of it too. Like that's one of my things. Like I like taking it to work every now and again, and that's how I spend my hour break. Is just slam on a pair of headphones, sit back in like our office / break room, and that's where I'm going to be. Nobody knows. Everybody knows not to bother me, because if they do, I'll hit pause and give everybody a dirty look. Like, this is my hour.
I'm kind of like fucking Howie Mandel. You know how he's like a germaphobe? I'm kind of like that with my games and taking care of them. So like, all right, the first time I ever took my Switch anywhere, I was so paranoid the whole fucking time. It was a day after it snowed, so it was messy out, and I was just paranoid. I don't have a case for it yet, but I did order the Sheikah Slate case, and I'm really excited for that to get here. It looks badass.
Oh, that is sweet looking.
Yeah, but
I haven't
fucking paranoid, dude. Like my hands were sweaty, like carrying it around snow. I'm like, oh god, I need to hurry up and get to wherever I'm.
Dude, I've taken it out of my house once, and the whole time, like every 5 minutes, I'm checking in the bag again and again. Oh, it's still there. Okay. Oh, is it still there? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
Definitely the same way. I did get one of those. I got this like hard molded case for it. That you can put up to 12 games inside of it too. It folds. It's really nice. But like when I take it outside, if that's just the only thing in my hand, like I latch on it with like a death grip. Like.
Oh yeah.
And then when work, like I'll still go back. Like we have our little storage cubbies, and I mean, there's only 6 of us that work at the place, so like nobody's gonna steal it or anything. But I still go back and look in the cubby constantly to make sure it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like like I just feel like if somebody did grab it without asking, I'd be like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?"
I find myself like I kind of auto react, and then I'll feel bad, but I'll be like, one of my kids asked to play it, or like they'll go to pick it up and play it without asking. I find myself like, be careful. But it's okay. My bad.
But the thing feels so fragile. It feels so fragile, and like I mean, I even have I don't know if you guys also got like I got like the tempered glass protector.
Yeah, I did too.
For it too. I mean, because I do stupid shit sometimes. Like I could imagine me dropping it in the bathroom onto the tile. Tempered glass, I'm not going to give a fuck about, but my screen, oh my God, I'd die. Like, it would be like, oh, that's it. Like, I can't take this anywhere with me.
And plus, let's be honest, and fellas, anyone listening to this show, we're all in relationships. You never know when your lady might kirk out if she's pissed at you and threaten to break your Switch. You gotta be prepared for that shit.
Oh, God.
I'm not saying that happened to me. I'm just saying,
That's like a hostage situation right there. Like, I do feel like I would be like in that, like that fucking game that came out this summer for PS4 with where you're all the androids and you're the one android that does the negotiations, the hostage negotiations.
Oh, that Detroit Become Human game?
Yeah, exactly. That game, like just put it down, okay?
My favorite part about what you just said is, Tan, you're like, oh, that game that came out, and like I feel like we had 4 episodes last summer.
Totally talked about it so much, and just forgot its title like that. So thank you so much, Jim, for picking that up. And
oh, no problem.
I guess as far as relevancy and what's going on in gaming news, not as meaty as our last episode. I will say the actual recording of this when we're doing the show is on the eve of the release of Devil May Cry, and I haven't. We were talking off air. None of us, Jim, actually, I don't know if you have, but Tan and I haven't played one since like 2 or 3. I think it was 3 for me, but it's getting like 9s. Like it's getting really good reviews. Jim, were you ever to the series? And if you were, when's the last time you did? Or have you not fallen off and you've continuously stuck with it?
Actually, for the most part, whenever I'm at like a different podcast or doing anything on the site, it's like, you ever play this game? No. You ever play this? No. Somehow Devil May Cry is one of the ones that I actually played all of them for. I never finished the reboot DMC. I don't know if I got bored with the game itself, even though it's kind of hit or miss for people, or if I was just kind of sick of the genre at that point. But I'm really pumped for Devil May Cry 5, just because it's one of those ones where everyone's saying, oh, it's a return to form, and it's getting 9s across the board. And I grew up, I bought the first one used at EB Games at the time, just on a whim, because it was like $10. So I was like, oh, I'll give this a shot. And I wound up friggin' loving it, even though the very last cutscene, the disc had a scratch. So that would just start skipping at 1 frame per second and then crash my PS2. So it was like years until YouTube came out to actually saw like how the movie for that game ended. And then Devil May Cry 2 was like, yeah. And then 3 was really good. And then 4 is kind of divisive, but I liked it. And then the reboot was So I don't know. I guess we're due for another good one.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. I like that. No, the one reason I got into the first one was Travis and my friend Adam was really into that series, or into the first one at least. But yeah, I was like you. I waited till it was probably about $10 and picked it up, played it on my own, loved it, and then I played 2 and really didn't feel the same way about it.
2 was boring. It was weird what they did with that. Like they took the
that,
attitude out of Dante, and then it was just like, this is just like.
And that's kind of where I think that's why I fell off at the time, because it was so different than the first in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one that I paid like full price for, played it once, and then it's been sitting on a shelf for 16 years at this point.
Oh my! Don't remind me that it's been that long.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling older by the day with these new releases, and it's like, oh, look at. Like, what was it, like, early in the week? Today was the 19th anniversary of the PS2. I'm just like, oh, fuck me.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. I was just like, oh, my God.
Or, like, when that, a couple months back, when the Streets of Rage 4 game was announced, right? And I saw so many people on, like, Twitter or whatever being like, oh, what's this series?
Dude. That just hurt me to listen to.
Yeah. I had to suffer, so do you.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, that's like ToeJam and Earl coming back. Like, who the hell even remembers that series for the past 20 years?
That gets me depressed to think how old we are, but then I think about we're getting a ToeJam and Earl fucking game, and I'm so excited for it. So,
it's already out.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's out, but I fucked myself because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get the because I'm a crazy person. I need the physical version, so I went limited run. So that means I won't be playing it for another 4 months if I'm lucky.
It'll pay off in the end. At least you can display it.
Exactly. I mean, I'll still play it as soon as I get it. But I've fallen into that trap before where I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get this game, pre-order it. And then by the time it finally comes in the mail, I'm like, yeah, I bought this.
The new Genesis collection, I mean, has, the first 2 in it, which I thought was a really awesome addition to that one. I was a little bit disappointed in that Genesis collection's library compared to the Sonic's Mega Collection.
Wait, I was going to say, it didn't include 3? It just had the first 2?
Pretty sure it just had 1 and 2.
That's weird. Because I feel like, you remember the PS2 Genesis collection? Did that have 3 on it?
You talking Streets of Rage or ToeJam and Earl?
ToeJam and Earl is what I'm talking
about. Oh, I was talking about Streets of Rage.
I was going to say ToeJam and Earl was on the Xbox. I'm like,
and I was about to say, whoa, 3? Like, there was a 3 for Genesis. But because that really
now we're on track. All right, we're good now. I'm good.
Yeah, but the Sonic Mega Collection had all 3 Streets of Rages.
Yeah.
The new one out only has the first one, I believe.
Weird.
There was some things that disappointed me in that collection.
It is cool because Panic on Funkotron normally doesn't get on these collections, so it's cool they threw that on there.
Yeah, not at all. Like, it was definitely the new game. That was what. I mean, if you ever watch the trailer, that there's both of those games were what they really pushed to be like, hey, like we finally put this on a collection. It was just like, holy shit.
I actually never played the third one, but I know it's for the most part. I feel like people don't love it, but they don't hate it. I don't know.
A lot of people seem to hate it, but like actually, weirdly enough, that was the one I owned the longest as a kid. So I mean, I never get rid of shit, but. Like, so I have a ton of nostalgia for it, but it definitely doesn't. It like they artificially made it like way harder. So I've only ever beaten it once, and that was with like right before the last boss, like turning on the player 2 controller, so I had a fresh set of continues. Like I had to bullshit my way through that just to even beat it.
Damn, that's pretty smart. I never thought about doing that.
Oh, I've used that trick many times.
I feel like Panic on Funkotron doesn't get enough love either. Like I really like that game.
Yeah, it doesn't. Everyone's always like, oh, it's not like the first one. It's more straightforward. But yeah, it is. But it's also one of the best looking games in the system. It's a really good platformer. The music's amazing as you'd expect. And it's actually like, it takes a long time to like really fully beat it.
Yeah.
There's so much.
It's like that series. It's like it's Zelda 2. Like it's a lot of people are strayed because it's so different and it's not easy, but it's actually a good game underneath all the hyperbole or whatever the word is I'm looking for.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, like I guess it's one of those ones that over time people were just like, oh, that game sucks because it's different. Even though like Zelda 2, Mario 2, like they're all great games. And it's just like the internet age. Everyone's like, oh no, they're the black sheep. I'm like, okay.
I was happy that Nintendo just added Mario 2 on the Nintendo online.
Yeah, that was one of the things that overjoyed me when I saw that the other day.
And
That's actually my favorite of the original trilogy. Even though, "Oh, it's actually not a real Mario game." Shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know if you caught our last episode because Mario Maker's coming to Switch, but they're still not including any Mario 2 shit. And it's just like, dude, come on, just do it.
yeah, it's like you own it. You're still Nintendo. Fucking put Doki Doki Panic characters in there.
Yeah, give me some
Yeah.
Doki motherfucking Panic. like, and
No,
I mean, I can see where they're like maybe their arguments is, well, the transition is because you can pick up objects and stuff like that. Well, that can't be that hard to just transition it to not being able to do that. I don't know. I really think they could have pulled it off, in all honesty. But
I think they could. I mean, it's not like Nintendo isn't known every once in a while for being lazy too. So it seems like something they could easily do, or they would just release like a super deluxe edition and throw that shit on there and be like, "Oh, buy it again, fuckers."
they don't hate their money either. I could totally see them throwing out Mario 2's DLC for that game.
Oh yeah,
Just like the skins and all the stages and all that. Just a Mario 2 pack, you know.
$30.
You know, people like us are gonna jump all over that shit if they do.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're that. I mean, you know who's really gonna want this? The adults that make money and have jobs. We'll wait. We'll throw it in there. Make them pay for it.
Yeah.
Just like they did with Smash Brothers. With all the Wii U DLCs.
And now it's LOL, pretty much, for all the fucking characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, Tannen, let's do this. And I don't know how you couldn't be if you follow this channel for any time. Even last episode, we brought up Jim. We gave a shout out to Jim. For any that aren't familiar with your channel and stuff, like we were talking about earlier, Jim, what genres and games? Because I know, we talked about the shit a million times, but what kind of genres do you gravitate to in gaming?
Ooh, you know what? Lately, I've been playing a shitload of, people hate the word, but just shmups, like vertical, horizontal shooters, any of them, bullet hell, and I suck completely at every single one of them. But it's been like almost like a midlife gaming crisis where it's like, oh my god, I never played any of these games, so now I'm just going out there and fucking buying all the ones I can and putting time into all of them and dying by like the third level.
And I
But
appreciate the word shmups, by the way, because I'm fucking lazy and I don't feel like saying shoot 'em ups all the time. So
me too. It's one syllable. It's perfect. Like anyone there, it's just gatekeepers out there. That's all it is. But yeah, I mean, besides that, I mean, platformers always there, kart racers always there. I think rail shooters don't get enough love, like either back then or today. Maybe that's my bias, and Star Fox 64 is my favorite game ever. But you give me a good rail shooter, I can sit down and play through that shit time after time after time. And then fighting games, of course, even though, outside of straight up Street Fighter 2, I'm probably not going to beat anyone.
yeah, I'll throw up a picture right now. You just put on Twitter the other day of your Street Fighter collection. I'll say this about Jim. Jim's a great guy, but Jim pisses me off this collection because it's always like, God, Jim.
But I'm a man who knows how to piss money away. And I also, I was pissed about that picture because I forgot to put my PC Engine version in there, which was like the reason I wanted to take the picture in the first place. So that was when once it went up and was starting to get, retweets, I was like, oh, well, guess that's done.
I'm like digging claws into my chair right now when you say PC Engine version. Tana, we never really give the genre enough love on here either. What do you feel about the shoot 'em ups genre? Because I feel like I went back on my own shit. Shmups. I feel like we don't talk about it enough.
Well, I mean, he brought up rail shooters. I fucking love rail shooters. Like, especially like any in-home like arcade type rail shooter that's been pulled off well. And that was one thing that I loved about the Wii was that they did bring that to home
Dead Space.
in a way. Oh yeah, well yeah, you had Dead Space Extraction too. You had your games that were like their own thing that you would never see at the arcade. I would probably shit my pants if I saw a Dead Space Extraction arcade cabinet, and I would play the shit out of it. But
we had Sin and Punishment. They had the second game of that too, which is somehow a series that hasn't been around since that game.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. What? Like, well, but still, regardless, so you brought up rail shooters. I fucking love that. That like love me a good rail shooter, especially Star Fox. Yeah, you did bring that up too. In a way, though, Star Fox, like to me, like it's not just a rail shooter. It's also it's a flight simulator, but you can't fly anywhere else until you go into free range mode, of course. Um, but yeah, shoot 'em up.
Also, the Dead rail shooter on the Wii. It's killing me.
Overkill?
Uh,
Also, the Dead underscore something.
Overkill, I
yeah,
think. The one with all the cursing, and
There
everyone's
you
like,
go.
"Oh
There
my
it
god,
is.
there's bad language on the way."
yeah,
I didn't hate that game. I thought it was
and it came packaged with 3, I believe, or 2 and 3. I don't
I
know. I
think
have
you're
a disc
right. I
that
never
has
played it.
2 and 3 and Overkill. It's well, no, the thing is, it still has that cheese. There's still the cheese, and like I love that. Like keep that cheesy voice acting. Like like if there's a House of the Dead remake and they actually put serious voice actors in it, I'm not gonna enjoy it as much. Same goes for Time Crisis. It's just that those cheesy cutscenes are always like why I don't skip because I want to watch that horribleness. I think go in and just blast a bunch of shit.
You know what? I'm so glad you just dropped Time Crisis name drop there. I'm getting old because I went to the arcade the other day and I played Time Crisis 3, and I don't like using the pedal as much now because I'm old and brittle and just don't.
No, it hurts your calf, man. It hurts the calf because you really have to push on that damn thing.
I strongly debated like paying like one of my kids like $5 to step on the pedal for me. 'Cause
Like on command.
Yeah.
If you fuck this up, you're not getting paid.
Dude, funny story about that. I joined the gym since I'm trying to stick around longer since I have a kid now, and I used up my free half hour, with the personal trainer that they always give you to try to sucker you in to sign up for $400 a month to do that dumb shit.
Yeah.
So he's going through these exercises, and my one ankle is just going. He's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He's like, "Your ankle's scaring me here." I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." And I can just imagine me playing Time Crisis, just going pop, pop, pop every time. Like, just hear that clip. That's
Oh,
when
man.
you know you have a lifetime of good decisions when you can't walk without setting off fireworks.
Jeez. But I totally agree. I feel like rail shooters don't get enough love, and I feel like they're underappreciated.
They really are. If they put fucking Typing of the Dead on a new console, and even if they made a keyboard attachment just for the sake of that, I would probably buy up that whole bundle in a heartbeat. Because you want to talk about cheese, them walking around with Dreamcast on their back with giant batteries attached. Like, you can't. It doesn't get any better than that.
Oh man, I haven't thought about that one in a while.
Weirdly enough, that's a game where like the rare times that like all my buddies can get together and like have a night of actual drinking, they're always like, "Yo, break out Typing of the Dead." Somehow that became like the drunk game to play over my house.
That's awesome. Anyway, they're getting boiling down to game of the week. As we all know, we jump into the future this week on Saturday at 2 a.m. or 1:59 a.m. You could look at your clock, stare at it, and all of a sudden, you're at 3 a.m. So, Travis, our theme for the game of the week that I've picked is the future. And guess what? It's a game that you claim that you've loved, but I want you to do a different kind of video on it. Yours is Back to the Future for the Super Famicom, previously unreleased here in America. And yeah, it's just that's what yours is right there. It's the early 1990s view of the future, doing a lot of hoverboarding.
It's another case of a goddamn game that we should have got back in the day, and we got all the shitty versions of it, like Godzilla, like so many others. And god damn it, like it's not a masterpiece, but compared to the one on Sega, and you guys, everyone knows what I'm talking about. It was like night and day. It was like playing a perfect game compared to Jesus. But I thank you, Tannen, for giving me a good game this time.
Yeah,
I didn't even know about that.
Jim, you need to check it out, man.
Yeah, you're literally on the hoverboard like the whole game. It's
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like a great platforming game with original music in the background. But that good old 16-bit SNES that just captured it. Oh man, that soundtrack is so good.
Yeah, and you know what I'll say after checking it out, because I only checked it out on emulator like years ago for the first time. One of the maybe my top 5 intros for the SNES, and I know that's a bold statement, But
Wow.
the DeLorean come up slowly, like in the movie, and the music kick.
Oh yeah.
It's like they nailed it. It was fucking awesome, and it still pisses me off to this day we didn't get it.
Do you know how many RPG dorks you just pissed off saying that?
Come at me. With your Lufias and your bullshit, and just come at me at this point.
But hey, with my never mind. Sorry.
Tannen, I got one for you. I hope you have this game. If not, I'm going to feel dumb. I have to call an audible here. I want you to play, speaking of time travel and all that stuff, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, the first one, on the GameCube or whatever you can play it on.
Oh, cool.
So good.
Wow, you actually gave me a good game.
I know,
even
right?
though that's a time reversal game. But, you know, when you make a bad decision, yeah, dude, I totally have that. I will go back. I will go back and play that.
It's only because Jim's here. Don't get it twisted. That's why I gave you a good. I don't want Jim to think I'm an asshole. But next time, number 50, we'll get there in a second. You're in for it.
Oh.
Man, this has been a ball. Tannen, episode 49, I think's in the books.
I do think it is in the books.
Jim, thank you so much for real, man, for coming on. This has been great. Like I said, you're welcome back anytime. Hopefully we can get you on for number 50. Going to have a smorgasbord of guests lined up. I hate doing this, but it's pretty much all but confirmed. Broski will be here for episode 50 so far. I'm pretty sure Karen, right, too, Tannen?
Yep, we got her on board. Yeah, definitely get Broski here. I don't know if RB's still around, but
we'll hit some folks up. Well, we will hit some folks up on the Twitter.
We got to tweet them. We got to twit them. Twit people.
No, I'll definitely try to make that. And thank you guys so much for having me on. Glad I could finally do it. It's been in the works for a long time.
Even though I feel like you were totally here 2 years ago. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what, Jim? It's been awesome.
One more time, Jim, where can everyone catch you and all that you do and all that goddamn goodness?
All right, so for the easiest way to find everything, youtube.com/drinkabeerplayagame, drinkabeerplayagame.com for our written reviews and some random articles we do. Twitter @ABEERANDAGAME, on Facebook, Instagram, and I actually forgot the most important one when I was doing this earlier, patreon.com/drinkabeerplayagame, where you can get timed exclusives, some shout outs, and some other goodies. So maybe for a few shekels, help out the page. Why not? I'll just keep pouring it no matter what.
And also in your spare time, you're holding down court as the president of Hibiki Pro, laying down the law.
That is true. Jim Tunney, he runs a tight ship. I got to applaud that guy.
He's on fire recently. I got to give it to him, man.
He just makes the big signs. What can I say?
Get over there. Check him out. What are you doing? Don't just pause the show right now. Get over there, subscribe, and then come right back, and then, get us another view. But that's okay. Right there on Drink a Beer, Play a Game. Thank you so much again, Jim. Tannen, my manin, 49 motherfucking goddamn episodes. We've done it. I cannot believe next week is 5-0.
I feel like this is bigger than The Simpsons 500.
Sure as hell gonna be better.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh.
It's definitely going to be better. But, I think The Simpsons 50 probably wasn't that bad. I don't remember what that episode was like, though. So, who knows?
Well, hopefully everyone will remember our 50 next week. We will see you guys then. Tannen, one more time before we get out of here, where can they check us out?
Well, you can first of all check me out at Tannensbum at Twitter. Even though I'm never on there, I promise you kids, I'm going to get back there as soon as I can. You can also check us out on Facebook at the Reset Button. Just to go ahead and plug that in. Reset Button with Tannen and Travis. You can find us so easily by finding that. Give that page some love. Also, you can also always check Travis out and the rest of us at HibikTM, at the HibikTMD at Twitter, and also the great YouTube channel of the same name, featuring all the great things that Travis rambled off earlier, with all his other shows that I never list to announce.
I don't know if you knew. I don't know if it was a surprise, but if not, what better way to tell you than on air? Karen messaged me. She's making a highlight reel of every episode of every time you fucked up my Twitter handle, and it's it's gonna be a treat. Montage inevitable.
Great. That's
I've killed Tanner. Of course, with my luck, I killed Tanner right before 50.
Huh?
Oh, there he is. He's not. Thought I killed you.
What? Oh, yeah, because I was coughing. I'm so sorry. I was laughing. And I got spit god in my throat. You didn't kill me, the spit dead. Holy shit, I'm dead.
Until next time, never drew a dime, slam pigs, union smack, the reset button, sunset stripped, union smack, so much goodness, I probably repeated one, it's alright, it's a lot of shit to remember, the reset button, Tannen, let's hit it.